Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friends and Fiction Official Book Club's Page to Screen virtual event for a highly anticipated film based on the book The Long Walk by the brilliant Stephen King. We are so excited to do this special event tonight. It's the first one that we've done like this. So we're very excited. Um, we'll get everybody a couple of seconds to get in, but
Mhm.
welcome new people. And I'm Lisa Harrison, and I'm here with my co-host, Brenda Gardner.
Hello, how's everybody tonight? We're going to have a fun 30 minutes.
Yes, we are going to have a great time. And we have a very special co-host tonight. So, Brenda, if you want to go ahead and announce our special co-host, please
I will
do.
be I will be happy to. Tonight we have Emily Carpenter with us. She's the critically acclaimed best-selling author of suspense novels such as Gothic Town, Burying the Honeysuckle Girls, The Weight of Lies, and Every Single Secret. After graduating from Auburn with a Bachelor of Arts in Speech Communication, she moved to New York City. She's worked as an actor, producer, screenwriter, and behind the scenes soap opera assistant for the CBS shows As the World Turns and Guiding Light. Born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama, she now lives in Atlanta with her family. Welcome, Emily. We're so excited to have you.
Yay.
Hi, how are you guys? Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
Thank you for joining us. We're excited that you're here to chat Stephen King and his brilliance tonight.
Oh yeah,
Yes. And
I'm
we would love to know what impact Stephen King's writing has had on your career and on your writing life.
That's a great question. His it's almost hard to express the extent to which this man and his books have influenced me. I mean, I think a lot of writers feel that way. I know he has so many readers, but I think a lot of writers really feel like they've been influenced by him. I will say, and I talk about this a lot, but my two favorite books are Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte and Carrie
Mhm.
by Stephen King. And
Wow, now that's
The
a
classic,
diverse
though.
selection.
The
yeah, and
classic.
I always say that, I realized one day that they are the flip side of the same coin. Because Jane Eyre is about a girl that is bullied and put upon and mistreated and abused, but she stands up to it with dignity and sort of respect and keeps her sort of personal righteousness intact. And Carrie is also about a girl that is abused and bullied, and
Yeah.
she stands up, she basically blows up a town. So that's, you know two different ways to handle a situation.
Yeah, but interesting because I hadn't thought about it that way before. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
yeah, I never get tired of reading those two books. But anyway, beyond that book, Carrie, I love Stephen King. I especially love his like old classics. I love
Yeah.
Christine. I love Dolores Claiborne. I love Salem's Lot. I haven't read it. I read The Stand. Let's see what else. Oh my gosh.
I think Misery was my
Oh,
first,
Misery. How could I
one of
forget?
my first Stephen Kings that I was like, okay, I see it. I get
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh yeah. And especially that book really speaks to writers. He often has writers as his main character. Um, which I love.
Yeah,
So
me too.
yeah, really enjoy that.
Well, tell us
So,
about. Oh,
oh,
go
go
ahead,
ahead, Brenda.
Lisa.
I was just gonna say that we know that you read The Long Walk.
I
So
did.
tell us what you think. Spoiler free. We're not doing like a
Okay.
book club discussion
I
because
will. I actually listened to it on audiobook because I was going to be in my car for a long time, and I love audiobooks. Big fan.
me too.
And it's I will say I had to like pause at some point to figure out when he had written this. He wrote it as under his sort of pen name, alternate pen name, Richard Bachman, and he wrote it in 1979. So there are some it's very much a product of 1979 in a lot of ways. So that was a little jarring, but having read some other stuff of his that's older, it was not that unusual. What I didn't know is that, and he talks about in the foreword, is how his Richard Bachman books are much darker and bleaker, if you can imagine, than his Stephen King books. So I was like ready. I was like girding my loins for this, like really upsetting, bleak book. And it definitely fulfilled that expectation and premise, but it was masterfully written and gut wrenching and haunting and visceral. I mean, you felt everything for these poor kids, and it's a book that seems like it's kind of action oriented and kind of horror oriented, but it really does make you think about, why am I living life? Why am I doing what I'm doing? What is going to get me to the finish line? What motivates me? Like, what do I believe about what my life's purpose is? I mean, these incredibly existential, big philosophical questions, and it's just from a book that you think is just a book.
Right.
That's the magic of Stephen King to me, is he can make you think about the big questions of life in these kind of crazy, over the top stories.
And he's definitely a master at it. That was one of the, you mentioned that he wrote it in 1979, and that blows me away. But that was one of the first things I noticed on the front of the book. It says writing as Richard Bachman, and I'm like, wow. Um,
Yeah.
and that also speaks to him as a brilliant writer, that his work can stand the test of time. Because here we are in 2025, and it could have been
Exactly.
written this year. I mean,
Yeah,
it could have been written. I mean, outside of like the time and like the set, that type of thing, but the actual writing storyline, it's just as strong today as it was then. And the
yeah.
world has changed a lot since 1979. So,
Yeah, and like there are places in the books where the boys are, talking back and forth, and they're obviously referring to things that like kids would have no idea what they're talking about, like referencing.
mhm.
I recognized like TV commercials he was talking about, and just like references to W.C. Fields and Marilyn Monroe that like today's kids would have no idea of, really. And but in spite of that, it was still relevant and unbelievably impacting. I'll say that.
Well, and just the fact that, 46 years later, the movie is coming out. That's just amazing to
Right.
me that
Yeah.
it's so timeless.
Yeah. I mean, it's really kind of mind blowing. And, I thought of this earlier too when I was reading it. I was like, and especially when I saw Francis Lawrence is directing the movie. Is that
Yeah.
right? Well, he
Mhm.
directed, I believe, the first Hunger Games. And y'all, I mean, this is the original OG Hunger Games, The
Yeah.
Long Walk is. Yeah. So, yeah, it was really, I really, really thought about that a lot as I was reading this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Love it.
Well, we have another guest to join us tonight who is also a big Stephen King fan, and we want to bring on our book club members, Lisette
Yay.
and Joe. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
Hey everyone.
Hope y'all
We're
are
so
doing
glad
well.
you
We were
joined us tonight.
So we are actually coming to you live from Twisted Spine, the first horror bookstore in New York City.
Oh
So
wow.
if you hear background noise, that's what's going on. It's grand opening weekend.
That
That's
is
amazing.
amazing.
Right? Oh my God, it's so fabulous.
Yeah, the
It
timing was
was
way too
meant
perfect.
for you guys to be here tonight.
Exactly. Exactly. It was perfect.
So we
So
wanted
we
to
were
ask you both, what makes you Stephen King fans?
It is generational for me. My mother loved Stephen King, and so I was her and my father's love for books. I started, reading adult books a little earlier, um, than maybe some other folks. So, I was always seeing mom with Stephen King books, and so, eventually I was like, I'm reading Tolstoy. Can I read Stephen King? Can I read Stephen King? Like that's what you read. I want to be reading what you're reading. And so mom started me off softly with The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon, which is for anyone who's not huge Stephen King fan, it's a little off the beaten path. It was written after he was recovering from being hit by a car, so it wasn't kind of the normal horror he wrote. So that's how I got started, and I read it and I was like, this is fabulous, this is great. And she's like, well, okay, then here we go. And so that's how I dove in, and I never looked back. Joe?
So I came in much later. I started reading them. Actually, Lizette and I were married by the time I started reading Stephen King books. I started off with reading Carrie. I think the thing that really speaks to me is the sense of place and the sense of unease you get from those books. We did the audiobook of Salem's Lot, and we did it while we were camping in Maine.
Oh,
And
Ooh,
quite frankly, you could not have put that together better. And it really drives the point home.
that's an experience.
Yes.
It
Y'all
was.
are brave.
So he married into it, is really what he's saying.
Are
For
you
anybody who
guys,
That's as
knows
good
me,
a
I've
way as
married into
any.
most of it, so it is what it is.
are you guys excited? Have you read The Long Walk, and are you excited about the movie?
Oh my gosh, we're so excited. So again, obviously we're at the horror bookstore. So this was one of the first things we picked up was The Long Walk. And so the minute I saw the preview, I was like, oh my God, we have to go to this. We absolutely because that's the thing about Stephen King is like, he has so much supernatural elements, obviously, but at the end of the day, the beauty of Stephen King is like the everyday horrors. Like it's just realistic enough that you're like, oh, this is too close to home.
Invariably, there's
Yeah.
one character who's a human who is the worst character in the book. Forget the vampire. It's always the racist at the end of the street.
yep.
Yep, that is very true.
Yeah.
And that's
True.
what makes it horrifying because it is real. It could
Exactly.
be
You don't
real.
know.
Exactly. It could be
don't know.
real. And The Long Walk was definitely it's a little close to home. It's a little too close to potentially real.
Oh boy. Well,
No,
Oh,
I'm so scared.
I know, I'm like, woo, get ready. So we want to thank you guys for joining us, and we are sending you our first giveaway is for you guys. It's amazing. It's a nice little, we're calling it the Long Walk Survival Kit. The lovely tote.
It's a nice
And
tote.
inside the tote, you will get another copy of The Long Walk, so you can each have your own.
Good, because I don't share well.
And
No, it's true.
there is
That was
also
mean.
some wool socks that you might need if you ever take a long walk, especially if it's cold outside. And one thing we all need is a portable wireless charger battery for when you're
Ooh.
camping in the woods in
Mhm.
Maine, listening to Stephen King. So we will be sending this prize pack to you guys. And thank you so much for sharing your Stephen King story with us and being with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you all.
Hi,
Enjoy the
guys.
opening.
We will.
Love the horror bookstore.
Yes.
Perfect.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye, guys. Buy lots of books.
That is so cool. Now I want to go to New York just to go to the
Oh
horror
my
bookstore.
gosh, me too.
Road trip, Emily.
Oh, that is all I need is an excuse to get up there and buy all the horror books. I just want to piggyback on what Lizette was saying about Stephen King, that I think he does almost better than any living writer today, is he somehow accesses the emotions of the characters.
Yeah.
So he's not just showing you something scary or horrifying or terrible. What he's doing is he's getting into the thoughts and the emotions and the feelings of the characters, and that's a really tough thing to do as a writer, to bring the reader into like what those characters are feeling. So
Yeah.
And I'm curious, Emily, because you did say you listened to The Long Walk on audiobook. Was that different for you than reading one of his books
yeah,
physically?
I prefer physically, like visually reading a book. Just that's just I don't process things auditorially as well as I do visually. So it's not my chose, my first choice.
Right.
But yeah, when I am driving somewhere, I'm like, oh, this is a great way to knock out a book really quickly.
Yeah.
And there are things I enjoy about it too, because like pronouncing the names correctly.
Yeah.
That reading a book,
That's an advantage.
not knowing how to pronounce the names, or occasionally you'll get cool things like music or whatever, the little extra.
Yeah.
I just listened to Project Hail Mary on audio,
Oh,
and I would highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's a great book.
Yeah, the
it
voice
is.
actor was fantastic, and they had like the robot voice effects, and it was cool. So yeah, I like audio.
I do too. And one of my dear friends, Karma, she loved the long walk. She read it and then listened to it again
Oh wow.
because she is like, it's so good. It's like the best book. And I'm like, oh. So she's also excited. But speaking of excited, we want you guys that are watching us live, we have another one of our long walk survival kits to give away. So to enter, please put in the chat what makes you a Stephen King fan. Whatever that is to you, just leave a comment in the chat and we will randomly select a winner at the end. Yay. This is
Yay.
fun.
I know. This is great. And we have another guest to bring in, actually.
Yay.
Emily. We are going to bring in Ron, our resident rock star librarian and mixologist.
Good evening.
Welcome to
Hi,
the
Emily.
party.
Hi,
Good to see you
Ron.
again.
So nice to see you as well.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about how devastatingly sad this book is by Stephen King.
It's
We're
crazy.
talking about taking long walks.
Taking long walks. Let's do it. Let's do it. Well, I had read the book a long, long time ago when it first came out because I was this gigantic, like I was in school and we were the kids that weren't supposed to be reading these things. And when they were first published, we were passing around secretly like the Exorcist. And then we glommed onto Carrie. And I
Well,
heard a couple of other people mention Carrie. Like it blew
Yeah.
our minds. Who could write this stuff? And it just started this whole lifelong love of everything. And I had to review The Long Walk again before this because I really wanted to kind of refresh my memory about it. And I am so excited for the movie because, well, two things. I want to know if they're going to set the movie in the time that the book was written, or if they're going to modernize it to include technology and
mhm.
things that we know
Same,
today.
same. I had the same thought. And I wondered if they were going to like what they were going to change if they
Right.
did change something.
Yeah.
I- yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And also the horror of the bad stuff that happens. For me, a lot of the horror was really what was going on inside of each of the young men's minds. And I wonder how they're going to portray that. And I bet they'll do a great job with it. But that was, for me, that was the core of the story, was really what was going on in their heads, what brought them there, what was similar and what was different about each of them. But so I'm ready. Let's go. Let's get out.
Well, I want to mention, for speaking of the movie, for our Atlanta friends, there is an advanced screening tomorrow night. And I'm posting the link for tickets in the chat now for those that are interested in attending the screening tomorrow night at Atlantic Station. Whoo, spooky.
Definitely spooky. I can't wait. I don't normally do horror films anymore. I used to do them all the time, and now I kind of, but this one I'm in.
Yeah.
I know.
So
And Emily was saying that she did the audio, and I feel like I would have had to pull over, you know,
Yeah.
10
Oh,
minutes.
oh, tender-hearted Brenda. I don't know this.
Listen, after I finished this book, I will say I did just sort of lie flat, starfished out on my bed, just thinking about everything. And then I found a Reddit thread where people were going back and forth discussing the end because the end is
Is
very,
not, well, we don't know. We don't
yeah, the end is very Stephen King. He does not give you everything you want.
Yeah,
And
yes.
yeah,
This or
so
this.
yeah, it was very much debriefing. I just needed to like debrief and like read what other
like a
people.
little long walk therapy session
Correct.
afterwards.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
A
Yep.
little sesh, a little talk
That's
sesh.
right.
Little something.
That's
Now,
right.
Ron,
A little something.
we know you have a themed cocktail, but before you get to that,
Yes.
I wanted you to share your story about meeting said Stephen
Yes,
King.
please do.
So, I mean, it's not that exciting, but it was that exciting.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is that
When
exciting.
I worked
If
in
you
Even
met
if
him,
it
it
was
was
a
exciting.
drive-by wave, it's exciting.
Yeah. When I worked in libraries in Syracuse, New York, where I grew up, they had this big series of authors that would come to these events, and they had these little theaters. They come in. That's where I first met like Pat Conroy and just oh my God, Isabel Allende and things. But then they announced that Stephen King was coming, and they had to move it, of course, from that theater to a much larger theater. And I can't remember the year exactly, but it was the year that Four Past Midnight came out. So I got to be one of those people that got to hang out with him backstage and like, and he was so nice and he was so like, he was so down to earth. And I don't know. He's great. But I still have the book and he signed it for me and I had him just sign his signature so it could grow in value and I could sell it down the road.
Ah,
If
I love
if
that.
you ever need some if you ever need some true extra cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
love that you brought up Four Past Midnight. That was actually my very first Stephen King book that I read.
It's awesome.
Oh, I haven't read it. Should I put it
It's
on my
big.
list?
Yeah. It's
Gotcha.
it's four short novellas and
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
And it's
Oh, okay.
that was the first Stephen King I attempted. And then Misery was the first one that really resonated with me. And I was like, okay, yes, this man,
Yeah.
he's the truth.
yeah, he's the real deal.
Mm.
And he's still doing it. Oh my God, he's still doing it. I'll
Yeah.
be honest, I haven't read the last several books that he wrote, but because I have a few other things I have to read.
No.
But back in the day, I didn't miss a single one.
Oh. Well, there is a lot of excitement about this movie for sure.
Yeah, there is. We're ready. Okay.
Yes. Let's see this drink.
Ready for this drink? Okay.
Yes.
So thought we talked about maybe doing something that went along with the long walk. And I thought, okay, I could do that. And I had this whole thing and it had all these different weird ingredients. And I thought, you know what? No, this is bigger than that. This is bigger than that. This is really about the whole world of Stephen King and what would be a great tie-in for that. And so I thought back and I remember when I first read The Shining. If you've read The Shining, you know. It's the first book in my life that I ever got so scared I threw the book across the room.
Yeah.
I was so terrified. There was some, yeah. Mhm.
Rightfully so.
So I thought, all right, we have to do that. We have to do an overarching cocktail for Stephen King world. So I have this great little thing to put up, and I've kind of started measuring out a little bit so I don't waste too much time. But it starts with an ounce of spiced rum,
Ooh,
an ounce of sweet vermouth,
yum.
and an ounce of Campari. So it's in the family of a classic Negroni, except the rum is a little bit different. But I'm going to just kind of shake it up here and present it.
I always wish I had like flu powder or something so I could just pop in to Ron's
Right.
room, get my
And
drink.
of
we're
course, you
always-
have a dried blood orange to do
Ooh.
in there.
Perfect.
I now present to you red rum. Red
Yes.
rum.
I love it.
Well,
Red
cheers.
Oh,
Cheers
it's-
to red
and it's
rum and
really,
cheers
really
to Stephen
good.
King.
Yes.
I brought my water for the long
That's
walk.
the long walk water.
you're gonna
is
need it,
definitely
yeah.
That's your
needed.
survival water.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of survival, let me pick the winner of our lovely long walk survival kit. Okay, I'm scrolling.
I love your new method of
I know I'm like scrolling, and then I have to get on there. Oh, here we go. It is.
Me.
Well, I just tapped on it and then it went away. Edie Cohen.
Oh,
Edie. Yay! She said, I absolutely love his scary but so realistic dialogue. King does it best.
That's true.
And then she also shared that she met, it looks like she met his daughter. Is that? Oh, his wife. She met Tabitha King, his
Tabitha.
wife, and she was really cool.
Oh, cool.
So, yay, Edie, send us your address. And also, Lisette, send us your address. And you guys will both get the lovely survival kit in the mail,
Fabulous.
including the book that I had upside down.
Love it. And I just put on the socks.
The socks are so
I have the
comfy.
socks.
Keep your
Keep
feet
your feet
warm.
warm when you're walking.
That's
Yep.
right.
And
Oh, that's
the
funny.
wireless charger. Yay.
What a nice prize package.
Yeah.
I know.
congratulations.
Well, I think that it is about time to talk about the trailer.
Oh, I
Yep.
saw the
We're
trailer.
gonna have to watch
I
it.
know. Brace
Are we
yourself.
ready yet?
Brace
We're
yourself.
ready.
Do it.
Let's do
Okay.
this.
Just want to make sure before I hit run, because All
Are
right,
you
here
ready,
we go,
Brenda? That's the
everybody. Hold
question.
on. Thumbs up.
I'm Ray Garrity. You can call me Ray.
Prima Freeze.
Hank Olson's the name. Walking's my game.
I ain't many that are built like me. I'm the last of my kind.
We did the very first long walk years ago to inspire everyday people.
Smile, boys. You're on candid camera.
Man, you gotta not think about the things out of your control. Think about your plan.
Personally, I can't stop thinking about all that money.
You won't never find another like me. I'm the last of my kind.
Okay, just keep walking. That's right. Just keep walking.
Yeah, that's it, kid. That's it.
Second warning. Third warning.
It takes heavy sack to sign up for this contest. I'm not gonna go through the whole rule book, but it boils down to this. If you fall below the speed of 3 miles per hour, you get your ticket. Walk until there's only one of you left. Who's ready to win?
Yeah, it took me a while to realize the truth of this. This is walk or die.
You'll walk as long as you can. But sometimes the body won't listen. For some, your heart will stop. For others, your brain. And the blood will flow suddenly. There's one winner. And no finish line.
Yeah, I love the
Goosebumps.
music they have. The music is awesome.
It's
Goosebumps.
whoever put together that trailer should win an award for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
it gave me no clue about whether they were going to modernize the story or keep it in the 70s.
Right. Yeah,
That
exactly.
was-
That's true.
That was an awesome trailer. Like,
Oh,
Poor
God.
I have
Curly.
goosebumps.
Poor Curly.
It's gonna
Curly.
be
Oh, I forgot about Curly.
Emily, are you okay?
The other part too for me is that I happen to have 3 kids. They're all boys. And so when there's ever a story about, listen, this is horrible, but like I can take stories about girls under, in danger much more than I can about boys. It just fits me. So and that little Cooper Hoffman space.
Oh, I know.
It
Yeah.
also gave me like a little Stand By Me vibe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. And I wouldn't have thought of that otherwise, like from just the book. The film trailer definitely gave me that kind of vibe. So
Sure.
well, and we all know
Wow.
that Stephen King has characters, jump from book to book and he connects books in certain ways and stories, which is part of his genius. But yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, now that we're all goosebumped out and ready for this,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
we want to thank you guys for joining us. We want to thank you, Emily, for being our co-host with the most.
Thank you.
And we
for
want
that.
to remind everyone to go out and pick up a copy of Gothic Town if you have not read it.
Oh, I
You
just got one.
definitely want
Oh,
to
yay!
get it.
Look, it's on my phone.
Yay! And while you're there, if you haven't read it, you want to pick up a copy of The Long Walk by Stephen King. And
Love ya, Uncle Stevie.
Uncle Stevie.
Uncle Stevie.
He calls himself
So
that on Twitter and Threads sometimes.
he's funny though too. He can be funny on the
He's
socials.
brutal too, and I love that about him.
Yeah.
Definitely. So we want to thank Lionsgate and we want to thank Allied Global Marketing for letting us do this cool page to screen event. And you guys go check out The Long Walk when it hits theaters on September 12th. Bring your own survival kits because you may need them.
Put some of
with
these
that-
in a little flask and take it to the theater.
Little flask.
Big
Everyone
flask.
have
Big
a
flask.
great
Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever's your
Everyone have a
choice.
great long walk. Cheers to the long walk.
Here's to the long
Cheers.
walk.
Cheers,
And happy
cheers.
reading
Thanks for doing this.
and watching.
Having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Hebe and Jay and Emily and Ron out for the
Out.
long walk.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.